Hi, so I filmed this really pretty look. It is I put purples, golds, and greens into it, and also a lot of orange shades, and I also put it with the orange lip just to tie it in together with the orangeness going on my eyes. I could have went with the nude, but I really wanted to do a pretty bold look, and this is definitely it. It's really fun for spring, which is coming up soon. I also did it with the bright blush from Sleek, pea pie in the pumpkin palette, and so it's really just a bright fun spring look. It'll also work great in summer, except I will probably use less face makeup. It's just a really bright sunny day today, so I wanted to feel it on my face, and then also did it with a bright shirt, so I wasn't holding back today with the brightness. And so I did, since it does incorporate the purple on the lower lash line, and then the green has a really nice golden undertone, and then the gold, it works really great with brown eyes, and then it also works really great with brown skin because of the orange. Orange is always a good flattering color on brown skin. It will work on other skin tones if you wanted to do more warmth in the crease. I'll probably go with like a lighter orange or something, just whatever you feel more comfortable with, unless you feel like being bold like me. Hey, so you can just do something really fun and really I won't say it's quick, but it was cute. I'm rambling. Okay, but I hope you enjoy the look. Just keep watching if you want to learn how to, how to look like this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to fix my ponytail, whip it back about just a little bit, and then we're going to get started with the eyeshadow. I'm priming my eyes. I'm using the Lorac Eye Primer that came with the Lorac Pro palette. Then I'm going to add MAC's Painterly Paint Pot onto my eyelid. This is just going to act as a white base. It's not white in the pot, but it's white against my skin tone, and that's just going to brighten up the shades that we're going to put on our lid. The next thing we're going to do is to take this brown shade, it's a medium brown, I'm going to add it into my crease. This shade is called Taupe, it's from the Lorac Pro palette, and I'm going to add that just as a transition shade. It won't add too much, except for just make everything a lot easier to blend. And then I'm taking Oktoberfest, which is a coastal scent hot pot, and it's a brown with a lot of orange in the undertone. I'm going to add this into the crease, the entire crease. And the purpose of this shade is because we're going to add a lot of oranges into the crease, and each orange we take is going to be a lot more intense than the one that we used before. This is going to be the most muted shade of orange, and so each shade after this is going to be a lot brighter, and so that's just going to add a lot more dimension into the look, and that's really what makes the orange pop. The next shade I'm going to use is called Baked Clay, another hot pot. It is a matte orange with a lot of red in the undertone, and I'm going to add this into the crease as well. This is once again a lot brighter than the Oktoberfest. I'm going to focus this mainly on the outer edge of the eyes, slightly just patting it and then slowly dragging it in before I start using windshield wiper motions, just because I want the color to be concentrated on the outer edge of the eye, and then I can bring it in. Where you first place your brush, that's where most of the color is going to be deposited, and so I'm just going to start tapping it right on the edge of my eye and then blending it forward, so that way I won't have too much intensity on the inner part of the eye, because that's not what I want. Now I'm taking a MAC 217 light brush to blend those two together, and then I'm taking a buffer brush from the Real Techniques collection, and I'm going to blend that, especially right above, right around the brow bone area, just so it can fade into nothingness. Not to make it look more natural, because there's nothing unnatural about this look, but just so that it's not as harsh. The next shade I'm taking is Moss from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lavish palette, and this is a shimmery green with a golden undertone. Spray it with some MAC Fix Plus before I apply it to my eyes, and then when I put it on my eyes, I'm mainly going to be focusing on getting on half of the lid and covering up that MAC Painterly Paint Pot, just because I don't want any of that white to be showing through my purple, green, gold, and orange look. It just wouldn't go. It just wouldn't work. After I lay down any eyeshadow, I always like to blend it out next, and so that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to add MAC's Woodwinked to the eye look, and this is going to be our gold, my favorite gold ever. I'm going to add this to the outer half of the lid. After I'm finished placing that shadow, I'm going to blend it right on out, like we've been doing this whole time, like we'll continue to do for the rest of the video. Now I'm taking Sienna out of the Lavish palette. I'm going to add that right into the crease, right above where I added the gold. I'm not going to go too far up like I've been doing with the other shades. And then I'm going to focus it mainly in the back, but then I'm going to be bringing it all the way to the inner corner. I'm not scared to add it and add a warmth to the inner corner like I was with the last shades. Now I'm adding Maroon Berry. It's a beautiful Maroon Berry shade. And I'm going to add this into the outer V. This is what's going to be adding the depth to this look. I could have went with the black, I could have went with the brown, but I wanted to do this just because it's a lot warmer than those two shades, and I really like the way that it looks because it just added a little bit more color to this already colorful look. I will say though that I don't want this to be too smoky of a look, so I'm going to keep blending right on the outer edge, and I'm not going to bring it too far in because I don't want the darkness distributed to the inner part of my eye. Now I'm taking Marmalade, which is a yellow based orange, and then I'm going to be blending this in between the brow bone and where the rest of the shadows in, just because I want there to be a transition from color to like no color, so that way it's not so harsh and it looks nicely blended. It's not going to look like natural or anything, but baby, we're not going for natural right now. This is not that. Now I'm taking this purple eyeliner by Jordan. I'm going to add this to my entire waterline, and then I'm going to take this light purple shade, this eyeshadow right here, and I'm going to add it to the inner shade. Pay attention to that darker purple shade, the matte one right beneath it, the one I swatched, and then that's going to be added to the outer part of my eye. And the shadow does kind of get into your eye when you're blending like this, but it's okay because beauty is pain and we're just going to have to deal with it. Now I'm just going to touch up my two lid shades, the green and the gold, because they lost some intensity during all of that blending. This right here is just a close-up of the look that I've created so far, and I just wanted to give you a closer look because I know the camera's kind of far. Now I'm adding Maroon Berry to the lower lash line just because lately I have been loving a smoky lower lash line. It's just been my thing. Now I'm going to add a black liquid liner to my upper lash line, and I do kind of mess it up because I blink on accident, but it's not a big deal. I end up fixing it. I kind of make a big deal because I just put all that work into my eyeshadow, but it's really not that big of a deal. I pull it together, I make it work, and then I do end up fixing it later, and I'll show you how I did that. Now I'm just going to fix that mistake I made just by covering it up with more eyeshadow. And I do it to both sides just because I don't want the green on one eye to be more intense than the other eye. Then I blend the green and the gold together using my finger just because it worked. It was easy. Now I'm adding some black liner to my tight line and also to my lower lash line. Now I'm going to prime my face, and this is the Rimmel Fix and Perfect primer. Not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't really do much for me, but I bought it, so I'm gonna use it. And now I'm going to add concealer to my under eyes. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I just find it to be a great under eye highlight. And then I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend that out underneath my eyes, being careful not to get it into my lower lash line smokiness. Now I'm going to take Josie Maran Argan Oil Illumanzier. When I bought it, it was extremely beautiful, but now it's kind of dry, and so it doesn't work the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to dot the NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer all over my face, and then, well, wherever I have imperfections, and then I'm going to blend that out with my Sigma Kabuki brush. I'm going to blend out the lower lash line. I'm going to keep on adding the Maroon Berry shade until I'm completely satisfied with the way that the under eye looks. Now I'm going to be taking this sleek contour kit in the shade medium, and I'm going to take that contour shade, not the highlight, and I'm going to be contouring my cheeks. I'm going to get the jawline and then the side of the face, and then also on the forehead just a little bit. Now this is where things got out of order. I started to exfoliate my lips because I wanted them to be nice and smooth for the matte lipstick I'm going to apply later. So that's why I was doing this right here. Then I decided to bounce back to my face, and I started adding bronzer, What? Yeah, so I started adding bronzer right on top of the contour, then also on my forehead. Because the bronzer I'm using has an orange undertone, so it tied in with everything else. And now I'm going back to my lips, adding some Vaseline. Now back to the face using this beautiful coral blush by Sleek called Pea Pie. It's a beautiful coral shade. It's extremely warm. I'm going to add that to my cheeks. It has a nice shimmer to it, so it made up for that shoddy job the Josie Maran Argan Oil Josie Maran Argan Oil Illuminizer did. So now I'm going to blend that out using a big fluffy brush. That is the Royal Techniques powder brush that I love so much. I love it, love it, love it. And then I'm going to outline my lips with this dark brown. It's extremely warm, but it's a dark brown lip liner by Rimmel. I'm going to add on this beautiful, this beautiful orange lipstick. It's called So Chaud by MAC. I'm pretty sure Chaud is hot in Spanish, and so I'm just going to add that. I didn't like orange lipstick until I bought this, and now I'm in love. I mean, seriously, look at that color. This lip has me serving springtime, summertime realness up in here. Then I decided to do a really quick, really random nose contour. Spray my face with some MAC Fix Plus. Even though I forgot to add powder. Yeah, I forgot to add powder. Should have added some powder. But nonetheless, we are done and completed with the look. And I love it. I think it's so pretty, so bright, so ready for spring. And I hope you enjoyed it too. Let me know what you thought. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.